here, Assad and Lois Faraj, Mario and Franny Arzon. We love you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. Let's go ahead and bring out these panelists. The very first person that I get to introduce to you all today is an amazing RVP. Him and his wife are killing it in the business. He's a near-term $200,000 earner. They're going to click this month over $200,000 in annual income, guys. That's freaking awesome. Let's give it up for Daniel Trombley. Welcome, Daniel. We're so glad you're here. Awesome, guys. Next up, we have Joe Sway, an RVP. Have to click over 200,000. He's at about 150. Give it up for Joe Sway. You guys know him. You love him. He's local. Let's give it up for Dan and Taylor Roma. Just click over 200,000. And we saved these seasoned veterans for last. Okay, last but certainly not least, coming to us from Florida, Vance SNSD, $600,000 earner. This guy's got 36 years of experience in this business. 36 years. Hall of Famer. I gotta look at my notes, guys. He's got 27 regional vice presidents. So man, we're amongst legends this morning. Thank you guys. You can have a seat. Welcome, guys. You guys excited about this panel? You ready to answer some heated questions? So there we go. We got his team here, right, Vance? Your team's representing the Steamrollers. They're excited. I don't know if the rest of you are, but they are. Okay, so we're going to dive into this panel. So we're going to kick it off with Daniel Trombley here. Like I said, Daniel and his wife are about to click over 200,000. Is anybody excited about that for them? I'm excited about that for them. So Daniel, when it comes to explosive results in 2024, okay, you're going to walk us through our first question, which is what culture points are you focusing on with your team, with your base shop to build and sustain momentum in this new year?
Does it sound? There we go. Yeah, that's a great question, Kayla. Truthfully, one of the biggest things that our organization focuses on is going to be making an impact. And you know, for me, one thing I realized very early on coming into this business was that there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many people that you can physically talk to on your own. So the best way, the most effective way to have the greatest impact is to build distribution, right? It's to bring on new agents into the business, develop leaders, get them licensed, duplicate your skill sets, your abilities into them, and just, you know, kind of keep doing that over and over and over again until you produce regional vice presidents, and then they open their own offices. And that's that's the biggest focus that we have. You know, at this point, for me as a regional vice president, my one goal is to promote out other regional vice presidents, and through that process, we're going to help a lot of people in the process, and we're going to have a massive 2024.
That's amazing. Guys, give it up for Daniel. All right, we're going to take it over to you, Josue. Okay, so same question for you. When it comes to building and sustaining momentum, what's the messaging that you have right now with your base shop?
Thank you. This is a great question. Before I get started, I would like to thank John Lavin, the coach of coaches, Shalmo, my RVP. And in Shalmo's hierarchy, so we have a slogan that's saying that keep the light of recruiting on. Because when people come in, so they come in with a selling mindset. But we let them know you don't need a market to win here. You need a mindset. And that mindset is recruiting. And before I finish, I would like to thank my team, my leader, that is Raul and my daughter. So I'm very, very excited. Yesterday, my daughter, she told me, Daddy, I want to study business now. It was like yesterday. I was in the office with her only. I didn't have a team. So when I played the video, she said, Daddy, there's nobody in the room, only two of us. So last night, she said she wanna study business to jump in the business. Yes, when you come here, people come here with a selling mindset. They want to make extra income. It is good, but I always tell them that. So you have to switch it to a recruiting mindset because we truly believe that recruiting solves all the problems, okay? Thank you.
So good. We're hearing some golden nuggets today. We're hearing about recruiting. We're hearing about promoting our VPs. Dan Romai, we're going to change up the question for you. So what's one thing that you would share with people today that, like, the one thing that if they could change this going into 2024, it would give them kind of a new outlook or a greater success if they give up this one thing?
Yeah, so I'm really big with our team, and they'll tell you, I'm really big with them on, like, being the person that you wish you had and becoming the leader that you need, right? Because if you can't lead yourself, you're not going to be able to lead other people, right? And I think one of the biggest things that shifted for us was about a year ago, like, we started a Bible study for our team before our wake-up call every day. So we, like Art said, God, family, business. Like, we put God first in our business and made it optional for our team. And that really, like, it's so much bigger than just the business, right? But it did a lot for our team and it put that on the forefront, right? But the other side of that is, like, me, like Andy would tell me all the time, like, people are, like, be a person, treat them like people, and not just, like, recruit them and hope they figure it out. Like, spend time with them, get to know them, develop a relationship. And so you just have to be able to lead yourself first, do what you say, but then also, like, show up for your people every day. If you're recruiting people and then the next day they can't get a hold of you, they're not going to stick around.
Right.
And so you have to develop that personal, like, that self-discipline to be able to spend time with your people and get in the trenches with them and help pull them out of the tough times that they're inevitably going to have at some point.
100%. That's such a good answer. Give it up for Dan, guys. Give it up for Dan. Dan, obviously you have the microphone now. We could let you go because we have a lot to learn from you, sir. But $600,000 earner. I mean, when I think about this, you've been here, Dan, you said, for 36 years. And you've got 27 RVPs. Obviously, you know, those of us on this stage right now, we've got things to learn from you. Talk to us a little bit about when you think of your culture that you've built, okay, what are you talking to your team, your organization about as far as sustaining and growing momentum in this new year?
Thank you, great question. First off, it's Vance and Letha Stay, our incredible partner of 36 years, with my wife. You know, we were very fortunate. They say you can't choose your parents, but you also can't choose your upline. And we were fortunate to have been recruited into the maniac hierarchy. And, you know, the message and the culture has always been about recruiting. It's always been about team building. It's always been about being coachable and following the direction of your leadership. And so many times people get in, they want to, you know, reinvent the wheel, and this business has been around for a long time. And look at the success that it's had. So you don't have to change anything. What you need to decide to do is that you're going to recruit. And a lot of times we stop recruiting because we recruit someone and they're not the one. And we think, you know, it's recruit. No, you just have to keep going. The bottom line is that in any business that requires self-motivation, 20% of the people do 80% of the work. And so you just need more people. The answer is always need more people. When you go to ask your vice president, how many went to your vice president and said, I have a question for you. How many of you have ever done that, right? The answer is, go get more people, now tell me the question, right or wrong, right? It's we need more people. The systems are in place. And then on top of that is you have to build an identity for yourself and your team. My wife and I, we were steamrollers when it was just the two of us. And we had a vision of what, because we walked into a big event like this and we saw a sea of maniacs. And we're like, we want to build that. And to build that, just so you know, to build a team below you, you have to be a part of a team above you. Plug into your leadership and forgive yourself for what hasn't happened already. So you listen to the numbers on the stage yesterday, and if you've been here a while, you'll be like, oh my goodness. Forgive yourself for what hasn't happened and start afresh. Go get some new people, and let's get after it. Let's go build and cheerlead partnerships, cheerlead RVP promotions, cheerlead rings, cheerlead everything, and big things will happen for you and your team in 2024.
Wow, Daniel Conde, we're going to come back to you. When you think about coaching your team, your base shop, and you're talking about a habit that they should give up, okay, going into this new year, what would you coach them on?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. Right, new year, new me. But you know, obviously, I could give you guys a list of habits that you know a lot of people don't have. You know, but here's the biggest thing. I would ask yourself the question: is is what you're doing, bringing you closer to your goals, or is it taking you further away from your goals? And that's something that you need to be honest with yourself about. And if it's not, it needs to be eliminated, right? It's literally that simple. And, for me, coming into the business, I was a student of the business. I studied the business in every aspect that I could. And for me, it just made sense to eliminate, listening to music and replacing that with audiobooks. It made sense to, instead of watching TV, study for my securities exams. And, the biggest thing is I try to lead by example, right? I try to show my team, like, this is what I'm doing, this is what's helping us to achieve the success that we have, and these are the things that I'm focusing on. Instead of telling them, you need to be doing this, I'm going to show them what I'm doing and show them the way through that.
I love that. That's so great. Yeah, and we've heard Coach Mario say a lot of times he talks about giving up alcohol until you've achieved your goal, or giving up television. He said he put him and Franny put something on their screen that said "My Dreams," and they had to take it off every time they'd watch TV. So that's so great, Daniel. Josue, we're going to ask you this question: What would give someone a slight edge this year if they start this? What's going to give them a slight edge so that going into 2024, they're like competing with people like you guys, these guys on the stage, based on their habits?
All right, thank you for the question. The thing is, you have to focus on recruiting all the time, and identifying your players. Okay, but there's a coach in NFL. I like him a lot, and he said he was asking about his winning mindset, and he said in order for you to win the championship, you have to win with your best players. Okay, not the best players, your best players. So as a coach, you have to identify your best players, because the people you have in a team will determine your ability to win the game. Okay, so and do not panic. So prepare for the worst, and expect the best, and prepare for the worst. So you got to understand that bad stuff can happen. Okay, bad stuff can happen. We all pray God, to have a great business. So when difficulties happen, as a leader, you don't have to panic. So that's a test. Okay, our God, I truly believe my God is a responsible God. So sometimes when things happen to you, this is a test to see if you are serious about this opportunity. So when people come to my business, I let you know, listen, stuff can happen, but stay attached to your goals, to your why, and everything will be fine for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Josue. So Dan, you've shared a lot on social media about your 75 hard challenges. Okay, talk to us a little bit about that slight edge, that winning edge, because you've kind of focused on like these 90-day runs. Share with us a little bit about how you coach your team on that.
Yeah, so that whole idea of the 75 hard, whatever, it doesn't really necessarily matter what you do. Just whatever you decide to do, actually do it, and it'll change your life. Like at the end of the day, it's about you showing up and winning for yourself, because you just build a habit of winning. I don't know if you've noticed, but like Bill Belichick and Nick Saban both just retired within hours of each other, but they both have dynasties. They almost can't lose. Right, and it's just a habit that's been built over time. They don't just show up and win. They work for years, a lot of times getting their butt kicked, honestly, before they get to finally where they get to go. And then now all of a sudden you see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see all the stuff below that, right? You build a big business when it's 11:30 after a builder school, and you're like, crap, I got to get my walk-in still, and I still got to read and take a cold shower. And I'm like, crap, I don't want to do this stuff. But I know that's why we'll be $1 million earners, because I'm willing to do that stuff.
For sure.
Right? And it's just we all have things that we don't want to do on a daily basis. I don't want to call people and set 3 appointments a day, just like you don't want to do it. Right. But I know that's the way. Right? That's the obstacle is the way to get to where you want to go. And so you avoiding that obstacle, I heard it said one time, that the battles that you won't fight, you leave for your kids to fight. And so the things that you're trying to avoid, you not getting financially free, you not getting out there and doing what you need to do, you not changing the family tree and going out and doing the things that are required for you to win, you're just leaving that for your kids to have to deal with. Yeah. And that's really selfish, right? And so if I can take that burden on and give them a head start, the battles that they get to fight, they're going to be bigger than the battles that I have to fight. And they're gonna have some firepower to be able to do that, and it's in a sense of like monetary resources and coaches, and they're gonna be able to change the world because I made a decision in my life, Taylor, because we made a decision to go and change our family tree. Now they have opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have had. And it's just a ripple effect from that. You can't.
So what I'm hearing is that results compound, whether that's positively or negatively, and every day we're showing up and making those right decisions to become the person we want to be.
Yeah, like we talk to people all the time about compound interest and the rule of 72. It is the same way in your mindset and how you work and how you get out. Like you're gonna start day one and be like, okay, I did 2 workouts and I read 10 pages. Like I didn't make $1 million yet, right, Vance? And then they quit. It's like what? What on God's green earth do you this is not a lottery ticket, right? This is an IRA, and you have to invest every day.
So good.
So.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dan. Vance, this question wasn't sent to you by text, but I know you'll be prepared to answer it. The rest of these guys on the panel have, well, I guess Dan Romine has promoted an RVP. The rest of us are learning and looking at how do we promote regional vice presidents. So talk to us a little bit about the culture of building a base shop as a regional vice president and then promoting regional vice presidents, how to identify them, those types of things.
Awesome. Great question. You know, the bottom line is when it starts with the leadership, it starts with your intention. And we learned a long time ago that the reason to become a vice president is not for the 110 plus bonuses and override, it's to promote vice presidents for freedom. And so when people come into your team, they want that as well. See, we find that, I don't know what the number is, 75 or 80% of the RVPs in America have never promoted a regional vice president. And that's a shame because the bottom line, we got to vice president, our goal was freedom. How many have a goal of freedom, right?
Yes.
Our goal was freedom. Our goal was ultimately to work ourselves out of a job, and people that come in have that same goal. And so we need to share with them that when you become a regional vice president, first of all, we let them know that that's our goal with them in the beginning. Our goal is to get you to regional vice president. Now that may not be their goal in the beginning. Okay, just like maybe it wasn't ours, but having a culture and seeing other vice presidents and understanding the power of the vice president contract, eventually people are going to want to become regional vice presidents. And so you talk about it all the time, you make it clear what they need to go out there and go do, and you believe in people, and that's probably the most important thing, and that's the building relationships with people as you go through the good times and the bad times, because there's the ups and the downs, and you have to be there for your people, and you have to recognize them, because people work to their belief systems, and so you have to constantly feed belief into them, and as you do that, the winners will pop up, and they'll go. We look at our team, we're so proud of all of our team. You know, 2 of our leaders got the $100,000 ring yesterday, and Giselle and Jonathan, and you know, and Jonathan was giving the answers as far as what it took, but I want to recognize Giselle because she's the lead agent and she's just awesome and outstanding. Also, I want to recognize Mike and Fab because they came from Kansas, and you know, tornadoes and storms got them here after their recognition. So congratulations to them and their upline, Sonia Lisa, Dr. Jim, and Yvette Valet, who promoted them to 100,000. And what I did there, was recognition for our team, but that's how you promote RVPs, by recognizing your guys, by taking the spotlight off you. It's not about Vance and Letha, it's about our people. It's about what they want, their goals, their dreams, and our job and your job to promote RVPs is to help people get what they want, and you'll get what you want for sure.
This question. We'll let you answer first, Vance. Share with us what makes somebody a great leader, which you already have given these golden nuggets, but what makes somebody a great leader? And if you're in the base shop right now, how do you become that great leader? How do you activate that?
Okay, real quick, okay? The bottom line is to become a great leader, you need to be a great follower. See, so many times people think that leadership is stepping outside their leadership, and no, we follow the direction of our leadership. We follow Jim Meyer from day one, and when you do that, you find other people who will follow you, you'll build a team, and ultimately, the goal is to build a team that's generational. We all agree, right?
Yeah.
For you to build a team that's generational, you have to have developed leaders, regional vice president. That way, your children, their children, our son Vance Jr. is here in our business too, and they're going to inherit what we build. So you don't want to leave them clients. They'll have the clients. You want to leave them leaders, RVPs, hierarchies, and that's how you do that to make that happen.
Thank you, panelists. Guys,